to be under the bright lights. I want to be on the Broadway stage.
Tiger Rag Radio is on now.
Joining us now on the Max Home Hotline, over 50,000 Max happy homeowners and counting. It is the great Pete Jenkins, the former LSU defensive line coach who is enjoying retirement. Pete, thanks a lot for joining us on Mardi Gras Day. How you doing?
Thank you. Yes, my pleasure.
First of all, let's get your thoughts on Bo Davis's decision to head to New Orleans. What'd you make out of that?
Well, I recruited Bo and coached him at LSU. I was so happy when he came back. I knew had wanted to be back for several years. I was really excited about it. So, yeah, I was disappointed. I'm happy for him because that's what he wanted to do, and everything. But I was disappointed. He did a good job last year under the circumstances. I know what a good coach he is, and I was looking forward to his front this year.
Hey, Pete, Glenn Guilbeau here.
Hi, Glenn. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah.
There was some talk when Bo left that, and this has happened with a lot of college coaches going to the pros, they didn't like dealing with NIL and the portal. Did that have anything to do with it, you think?
Oh, Glenn, that story could be true of any city in America that's got a major college. I'm telling you, yeah, it did. It had something to do with it. It had something to do with a lot of guys, to be honest.
Sure.
With you, Glenn. I look for more guys to leave college football because of that, and go into pro football if they get a chance. But yeah, that was part of Bo's reasoning. It was.
Yeah, it's amazing, Pete. Excuse me, Todd, because before NIL and the portal, NFL was really a tougher job as far as time. Because the colleges had a little more time off, but now the NFL coaches just have more time off, don't they?
It's a walk in the park for. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I was on the radio doing a little spot the other day, and the guy asked me, he said, "Now, what will the coaches do from now to spring practice?" And I said, "Well, wait a minute now. I can guarantee you they're working, okay? And we're only talking about 2.5 weeks. So, they don't have time to breathe, Glenn. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know. I guess I could have done it when I was younger, but the pace that they're on with recruiting, camps, all the things that they've incorporated, and the way the thing's set up, the sign-in dates and everything, they really have a job. It isn't something I would want to do, Glenn.
It even chased Nick Saban out of coaching. Can you believe it?
Well, I would tell you that Coach Saban, that wasn't something he really enjoyed.
Right.
When he went to the Dolphins, he'd been an assistant in the league for 7 years. And when he was an assistant, there was no free agency. And when he took the head coach at the Dolphins, he used to tell me, boy, that free agency now was difficult to deal with. That was difficult to deal with. But, he's a builder, Glenn. He's a guy that he's a culture builder. He's a team builder. And, the NIL doesn't give you that opportunity. The portal doesn't give you that opportunity. And free agency in pro ball is easy compared to what these guys do with the portal, because you got a very short window for free agency, and it comes after the draft, and you got a short window in there. So it's easy. I found free agency much easier than what the portal gives you.
Joining the Army is more than a chance to serve your country. It's also a great career move.
All my personal experience, I've been able to build upon that so that I could achieve construction management and training, go for a project manager planner. So when I get out of the military, I'm able to pursue a career in construction management.
Get the experience you need through service in the United States Army.
Coach, this is Todd. Talking about how you doing? Talking about Bo Davis, not only was he a great recruiter, but he is a great developer of talent, and he comes from your school. He's in your tree, so to speak. But how important is it that this next defensive line coach at LSU, is it more important for him to be a recruiter with the way NIL and the transfer portal is, or is that lessened now, and is it more about developing what you have, whoever you have?
Well, you asked me about 2 or 3 different things there. Let me back up and say, okay, I don't think the recruiting ability is as necessary. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think the recruiting ability is as necessary as it was at one time. Because, it's all about the money. I mean, let's just call it like it is. It's all about the money. And that's the way free agency was in pro ball. So I'd take guys to the Capitol Grill, because when they would come in there as free agents, because that was my favorite place to eat, was the Capitol Grill in Philadelphia. And they had the best calamari done in peppers I ever had in my life. And
all right.
And they had great steaks and whatever. So I would wine them and dine them, and we'd go back to the facility, and I'd have all kind of tape put together for them, and I would show them how they fit in, and they would tell me, I like it here, and I really like Coach Reed, and so forth. And then I got 2 more stops to make, and then I'd get a phone call, and they'd say, this club over here is offering me so much more than you guys are. I'm going to go here. So, that's the way it is. And that really is the way it is in college football today. My guys that I work with, which are a lot of college coaches that I work with now, they tell me when you go on a home visit, the first thing the parents say is, what kind of NIL deal do you have?
Mm.
Yeah, that's so different. And it's a shame to me. I mean, I'm old, I guess, and everything, but I'm not against the players sharing some. I do think, I was telling somebody the other day, when I was in college, they gave us $13 a month. They called it laundry money. So I stretched that 13 as far as I could too, Glenn. I would stretch that 13 a mile, but I'm not against that. I don't mean to say that. It's just the way the thing is set up that it's really, it creates a lot of selfishness. I'm not a big Rick Pitino fan, but he said it one day, and I heard him say that. He said, the player now is more interested in the name on the back of the jersey than he is on the name of the front of the jersey. And I think that's what's happened too. We creating selfishness and some jealousy and things. It's just not a good thing for college football.
Well, given that being the case, and I firmly believe you, how does a new defensive line coach come in and develop talent? How does he do that? Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think and that was the thing I took such pride in, was developing guys and seeing them through. And I did another radio spot in Baton Rouge the other day, and I was talking about Carl Dunbar. Okay, and I used him as an example because I coached him for 5 years. He sat in the meeting room with me for 5 years. And then in the summers when he was in pro football, I coached him during the summers. I worked with him in the summers. And then when Coach Saban came to LSU, he hired Carl to be my helper. And I tell people sometimes I really was around Carl more than I was my own children, to tell you the truth. So Carl went on and did a good job, squeezed 6 years out of pro football, which he wasn't a real talented guy. And then he's been a really good college coach when he's been in college, and he's in his 14th year coaching in the National Football League right now. And I think truly one of the best defensive line coaches in pro football today. Okay, he sent me a Christmas card. His family did. He's got 3 kids. They all have gotten degrees. They all are really doing well. His son is a strength coach at Boston College. and Carl and Pam looked great. And I looked at that picture and I thought, how proud I am of this guy. I mean, when he came to LSU, Carl was not a blessed athlete. He ran a 5.35. He weighed 230 and couldn't bench his body weight. And we tried to get him to do a vertical jump where we could get a sheet of paper underneath it, and he couldn't do that. And I'm just saying to you, what he did through hard work. Our strength coach, Milton Williams, we were eating in Broussard at that time, and we had great food. Carl made himself into a player, and he's made himself into a very successful NFL coach. And see, what I'm so proud of is the man he became. When you got him 1 year, or you got a guy this year and he leaves and goes to another school because they offer him more, it's just that we've taken that out of the game. And that was something I truly loved about the game. So, yeah, it's quite different. And I don't think the developmental, you asked me about recruiting, and I gave you an honest answer because I think the money speaks louder than the recruiter. But the developmental guy, I think, is more important in the NFL today than it is in college. You just look in the portal and get you one. And he's not going to be there very long, 1 or 2 years at the very most. So I don't know. It probably wouldn't be much of a place for me. I probably wouldn't be able to coach 50 years today, But
yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you if you want the job.
Let me answer it this way, Glenn. I want the job. I can't do the job. Enough gas in the tank, my friend.
Well, Pete, it's been great hearing from you. Always love your insight when it comes to defensive line coaches. But this has been a job, from what I understand, that a lot of people are very interested in, though, right? Even though we talk about how much of a 365, 24/7 type of job it is, there's a lot of interest in it.
Well, they wherever they are, they're doing the same thing. The schedule doesn't vary a great deal. You know what I mean? So, yeah, to tell you the truth, I hear names. I did talk to Coach Kelly on Monday after Bo talked with him, and I did speak with him. I haven't spoken with him the rest of this week, but I hear so many names. I don't know if it's possible. I know they did Zoom with 4 guys on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, because one of the guys on the staff told me that. But I hear different names every day. I just don't know it. You can get too many candidates if you're not careful.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had originally said he was going to have it done by Wednesday. Okay. So I don't know if he's going. If, like I say, that was first of the week, but. Look here, they start spring practice Saturday.
Yeah.
If I'm not,
right.
Well, we cutting it close.
Yeah. Is it important to have somebody in place by spring, or is that necessary?
Yeah. Tremendously important.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, it's important.
Get Carl Dunbar.
Pete, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again down the road. That's the great Pete Jenkins here on Tiger Rag Radio.
Quite a lineup of events in February from your friends at the East Baton Rouge Library. Always a hit, Mid-City Microcon returns on February 8th. Grab your bestie on February 14th for Movies on the Plaza, Galentine's Edition. The library also welcomes Poet Laureate Allison Pellegrin and author Robert Penn this month. For more details about these events and others, visit ebrpl.com. That's ebrpl.com.